The upcoming stock market crash is going to make you or break you. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. So, I kind of watch the market because it's entertaining. I don't really care about, which stocks go up or down in the short term because I have a long-term, lifetime perspective on investing. I don't believe that stocks going up a lot in a year is anything to celebrate. What I do believe is a good thing to celebrate is accumulating as many assets as possible over your working life, off of which you can live off when you hit retirement or you decide to do something else besides full-time work. That's what I focus on personally. But I see a lot of absolute freaking mania going on in the markets. And I'll do a video tonight, I'll do a live stream tonight if I have time, talking about the top 5 reasons that I think we're in a new clown market. But the number one reason, obviously, is the return of cryptocurrency. There is no single indicator that we have complete clownery back going on than the rise of cryptocurrency and the worship of Michael Saylor and the claims that MicroStrategy is now the most profitable company in the U.S. market, which is absolutely hilarious. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I personally think, and this is just my personal opinion, I could be totally freaking wrong. And whether I'm right or wrong doesn't change my investing strategy at all. I always do the same thing, and it works. It works. Even after 2 divorces and having a normal income, I've got like $500,000 invested at age 35. Okay, that's pretty freaking good considering all the circumstances. And I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't take massive risks on one single stock. I didn't do degenerate option strategies. I did a very consistent strategy of dollar cost averaging into total market index funds, never selling and never panicking on market downturns. But here's the problem. The market is definitely, there's some craziness going on. There's peak euphoria. Peak euphoria. We have massive projections for earnings growth for the S&P 500, which is why it's valued where it's at. We've got cryptocurrency going bananas. We've got clown stocks trading at insane multiples. We've got grifters getting insane amounts of views on YouTube again. Go look at Jeremy's views. It's just total disaster. It's sad. It's like, it's not jealousy. I'm just sad that guy is still relevant. And I think there's going to have to be a reckoning. And I hope there is a reckoning. I hope we have a 50% decline in the S&P 500. And I know all you're going to be out there, well, you just hate America. No. Okay, I love America, but I think we've lost our way, where grifts, degeneracy, and clowns have taken control of the country. And I think a 50% decline in the stock market, not that freaking lame 2022 almost recession, that was garbage, but a real decline, a real 50% collapse that would weed out all of the clownery. But here's the thing, guys. This impending stock market crash, which I hope happens, and I think probably will happen at some point, it always does, is going to make you or break you. Because ever since 2020, I've noticed a huge increase in retail interest in the stock market because it's just gone insane since 2020. Basically, all the stimmy checks and all the freaking government tax credits and this and that, people threw all their excess money into the stock market and crypto. That's basically what they did. And they learned some very toxic lessons. The main lesson being that you can focus on buying individual stocks or cryptocurrencies, and that the metric of success is if you buy that stock and then it goes up a lot, very, very quickly afterwards, you made a good investment. And that's a very, very toxic mindset to have, because what you don't understand, I guess you haven't read market history, is that bubbles can go on for years and years and years, and you can look like an absolute genius. Think back to, the late 90s, early 2000s. I was alive, but I wasn't watching the market back then. But back then, you had these garbage companies, didn't have any real profits, that were trading at insane valuations, and people were making a fortune off of tech stocks, bro, off of .com, bro. And, back then, if there had been grifters like we had now, it would have been probably 10 times worse than today, to be honest. When I read back, I get like 2020, 2021 vibes from the dot-com crash. But for years and years, the bubble went on, and everybody was looking at their accounts, and they were seeing the numbers go up massively, and they felt insanely wealthy. And their reward system was, buy stock, it goes up massively. I made a good decision. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at stock picking. And that led to one of the most brutal bear markets that we've ever had. I'm sure there's been worse, maybe in the Great Depression. But an insanely brutal bull market, especially with the NASDAQ. A lot of the tech stocks crashed massively. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have that again, but I'm seeing signs of that potentiality coming with other companies. And, I'm not saying large tech, but other companies in the market that a lot of retail investors are piling into, and especially cryptocurrency. And when that reckoning comes, you're gonna find out very quickly that your whole approach to investing is imprudent, degenerate, and entirely wrong. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to listen to this message because every time these crazy bull markets come up, people get sucked right back in. They always forget the lessons that they learned not too long ago. As recently as 2022, I know a lot of you lost ungodly amounts of money. You'll never admit it. And you massively underperformed VT. But you'll just selectively show stocks that have done well since then. And you'll act like, your losses never happened. You didn't learn your lesson. You're trapped in the euphoric cycle. But, speaking back to 2022, that bear market was kind of lame. I mean, what did the S&P drop? Like 25, 30%? What if there was a 50% decline? Can you imagine if we had a multi-year bear market instead of that weak freaking loser almost recession that we had? If we have a multi-year bear market, most of you will be broken and destroyed financially. And it will be the saddest thing. And of course, my portfolio will probably go down 50%. But that doesn't matter to me because I'm not thinking about, how much of my stock's gone up this year? Or, they went down this year. I'm buying as much of the world as I can. And when I hit retirement, I'm going to live off all the, weighted profits of those companies that are returned to me through dividends, share buybacks, and reinvestment into new projects that grow the company's earnings. That's my goal. That's the only way you should really be thinking about investing. And I hope and I pray that this next bear market that we have really cleanses the market. And if you don't learn your lesson this next time around, you're never going to learn again. You failed to learn in 2022. You failed completely. Now you all think you're geniuses because of this euphoric rally because of Trump's election. And when it happens again, I really hope this time that you learn your lesson, okay? I don't care about your comments. Most of you are little liars, little manipulators, little degenerates who selectively talk about stocks that you've made money on. But I know the truth. I know your net worth hasn't, actually increased since 2021 because you lost so much money in 2022. So we need the next crash. Please, God, the filth needs to be cleansed. The amount of garbage out there, the amount of scamming going on is getting out of freaking control. And when this next crash happens, you must learn your lesson. You must learn that you're not as smart as you think you are. You're not a good investor. Buying stocks and then them vertical lining doesn't mean you made a good investment. And you always have to think long term and buy a low cost total market index consistently over your working life, and that will lead you to success. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. I guess it's cool to see VT at all-time highs, but it's freaking, I'm 35. I don't need money for a long time. I'm not going to live off that money for a long time. So whatever, if it crashes, great. If it goes up even more, great. My portfolio is looking amazing right now, but that's not, really something to celebrate that much. Anyway, Talk to you later. Check out the pinned comment if you want me to do your taxes. I'm a certified public accountant. I do business and individual taxes. Check out my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser, and all my other grifts in the pinned comment, and you guys have a wonderful day. Cheers!